work on getting out of hustle business. Hustle business will not allow us to do what we want to do. Now, the green print. This is where people really, really miss the business mindset. The green print. After you study the industry, what in the industry are you doing to earn money? And are you willing to sacrifice to earn money? These are the critical parts of the green print. When you're looking at your company, you looked at the time that you've taken with yourself to self-develop yourself. You've looked at your conscience to see what are the fears that you have? What are the things that you do to keep you from being successful? What are the self-sabotaging things that you do? What are the procrastinating things that you do? What are the things that you personally do to yourself to keep you from going and being successful? And then you look at the blueprint and say, what part of the blueprint is important to your industry? What does your industry look like? Not how do you feel about your industry? When do you want to deal with your industry? What are the ideas you have about being cute in your industry? What is it about your industry that you need to know that will allow you to get paid on your industry? And that's what the green print is all about. What are the pain points in your business for you to earn a profit? Now, your green print rests on 5 different areas. Number 1, the workers, or as I call them, the worker bees. Number 2, management, as I call the managers. Number 3, the CEO, which is probably you. And then after that, then it's the business. And then last but not least, it's profit. So all 5 of these areas must get paid for you to be successful. And many people would say, well, no, as long as I get paid, I'm successful. No, you have to look at paying people so that you can create a team. You have to look at who's managing the team so that you can look at the team and make sure that the team is headed toward the vision. And you as a CEO have to be in vision. You have to create a vision for all of the team members to follow. But you also have to look at your business. What are the services or products that you have in your businesses that must be paid for? And then you have to look at your profit. The profit that you're able to make is important when you look at these 5 steps. Now let's move from your green print to your black print. And your black print is wealth management. Your black print is retirement. And your black print is your exit strategy. I want you to think about those 3 for a moment. Your exit strategy, your wealth management, which those 2 are very, very critical, and retirement. The art of war suggests that you start from the end, then you go to the beginning. Think about that for a moment. You start from the end and you go to the beginning. In other words, you participate in a activity where you have already seen the victory. And then you move from backwards to forwards to plan your strategy to win. And so I want you today to look at your wealth management. And many of you say, well, I don't have a lot of money. Yes, but if you plan for what your wealth is going to be, you will have earned money for your exit strategy and your retirement. These 5 areas, your gray print, your red print, your blue print, green print, and black print, are the basics to allow you to win. Ask yourself this morning, do you want to win or do you want to just exist? Do you want to win or do you want to exist? This whole week, we're going to have speakers from all across the globe. And these speakers are going to be giving you information to allow you to do more business. It's like a university, a business plan university. As we go through this process, I want to thank all of the team members who have worked to make this happen. And when you say team members, I don't want to just say, I want to thank the members who worked on this month. I want to thank people who worked on this show in 2019 when we did the first one. Those days, we had global strategists. We had ambassadors. We had many people in the first one who worked so hard to make it happen. And the first one, we had 36,000 people to show up. Then we decided to do quarterly in 2020. And at the end of 2020, we had over 500,000 people to show up. When people talk about Black people not working together, I continue to say, look at what we've done. Then last year, we had, and that was 2021, where we had 4. And then last year, we did 6 every other month. And now we're doing every month. I want people out here to understand, in order for a group of folk to do great things, we have to do great things. It is easy to sit on the sideline and wonder how it's going to go. Is it going to be successful? How are they going to work? But it's more important for all of us to step up and look at the big picture. To look at the picture that this is bigger than one person. This is bigger than one person. This is a movement. And a movement must be moved. Or better yet, as my great-grandfather said, must move. As I said earlier, the Black Business Olympics is a 24-hour business network that showcases businesses all around the globe. Again, as I said, I want to thank those people who showed up and show out. I want to thank everybody, because without you, there's no us. Our history depends on people who really see history and don't see themselves. I want to say that again. Our history depends on people who see history and don't see themselves. It's easy to stop, just as it is easy to go, or as we would say, to start. My great-grandfather used to say, it is just as easy to do something small as it is to think big and do something big, because both of them take the same amount of time. That's important to think about. Again, I want to thank everybody who's helped us get to where we are today. And I want to say to those who are not working with us anymore, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you, this would never have happened. And for those who are continuing to see the vision, see the movement, and who will continue to work with us, whether that is every month or some of the months, thank you so very much for that. I want you to think about this week as another opportunity to learn, another opportunity to hear what other people are saying about business around the globe. I want you to think about what can you do to change this world. I've said many times that the Black Business Olympics is a platform that showcases businesses all over the world, but more importantly, it's a platform to change the ideas that our kids have today. And to change the idea that the one percenters are not just basketball players, football players, singers, and dancers. To change their concept that they don't have to be an actor, a singer, a dancer, a sports, an athlete to be successful. To change the whole suicides that our Black kids are doing right now. We want to put something in front of our kids for their legacy, not ours, for theirs. Our kids are committing suicide at an alarming rate. What are you doing about that? How are you talking to these kids about who they are and what they are to help them get past mental stress of being bullied, mental stress of being told that if they don't have this and they don't have that, they won't be successful? Well, I'm here to tell you, while we talk about it, you never know when these things hit close to home. I had an opportunity to talk to a young man, my nephew, who incidentally tried to commit suicide. And I asked him why. And you know what he said to me? He said, because he was bored. I want people to sit back and think about that for a moment. Are you committing suicide by not joining in and pushing your community ahead? Are you committing suicide by not talking to business owners and talking to young people? This is real. And with that being said, I'd like to bring back the guy who stirs the drink this morning, our moderator, guy by the name of Sidney Warmsby.
Well, hello again. You said so many profound things, so many impactful things, but I think some folks may have missed just the amount of growth your program has had and the things that you've done. So I want to highlight those again because there's lots of ways to measure growth. You talked about the number of shows going from, one show, an idea, a concept, to one every quarter, to now one every month. And what's the forecast for that going forward? Where do you grow from there? How many are you looking to do? And when does this become 24/7, around the clock, around the world?
I'm glad you asked that question. Many people don't get it because they're self-absorbed in what they are doing. It's easy for us to put ourselves first and don't put a mission or a goal first. We've done over 3,000 speakers from across the globe. That's a testament to saying that Black people can work together. That's very important. Something that I really wish people would actually look at. Next year, we are prepared. We're working to get prepared to do every 2 weeks. The following year, we're going to do every 3 weeks. And the fourth year, we're going to do every 4 weeks. This year, we're doing every month. Okay? We don't have a plan. We have a strategy. It's a difference. Mm-hmm. It's easy to say we plan on doing something, but where is the strategy? We have already done over 3,000 speakers. We know it's going to take 1,885 speakers just to do a 24-hour live network. We know that. So the question always is, can you do it? We've already done it. Now it's time to repurpose it or to recalibrate it in a way that's going to allow for us to have speakers around the world and around the globe to be on the platform.
All right. And there's so many ways for folks to get benefit out of this, as you were alluding to. You can get educated so that you can, be a better business owner, manager, leader, et cetera. Or you can be a mentor to help educate, those who may need what you have, what you learned, what you gained through your experiences. You can come in as a presenter. You can come in, as a viewer. There's just so many different ways to get involved. So I'm going to ask you to let folks know if they want to get involved. How do they reach out to you? What's the best format? What are the different platforms that they can reach out, talk to you about? Either how do they get involved as a presenter, as a speaker, as a organizer, whatever?
Well, Sydney, thank you for asking that question, because many people don't get it. They just don't get it. You don't have to be in front of the screen to be impactful. You don't have to be the leader of the free world to be impactful. You don't have to be that guy to be impactful. If you want to speak, you can go to bbxspeakers1@gmail. Or you can email me at erickelly45@gmail. More importantly, if you want to get involved, get involved. Stop procrastinating in allowing yourself to sit back and say, is it going to work? We've proven that it works. If you're a business owner and you're listening, ask yourself this question. Do you exist in this space? Not in your space, but in this particular space right here. If the answer is no, you don't exist in this particular space, then there's a space that you should or can exist in. And that's why we do it.
Good. And if people wonder, does it have impact on my business, or et cetera? I'm going to give a testimonial here that I actually haven't had a chance to share with you yet. But being on your program and on the Black Business Network, interacted with an individual who runs a YouTube channel designed and directed at women, who asked me to be on their podcast. From that podcast, I got a call from a businesswoman in Kenya who saw me on that program, who said, I just have some questions. I want to, reach out. I, like what I heard, but I don't know how to do it, et cetera, et cetera. And, so that's the reach that, you and your program are building, but it's also the connections that you and your program are building. So for those who are listening, I just want them to understand, there is power in the process, in the things that you're doing and the things that you're building and the things that they can get from it and the things that they can contribute to it. So thanks to you for all that you do. Please keep on doing it. And as we say, genius is common. I'll see you on the other side.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo. One of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business. I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black America in North Carolina. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-380-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
How many times have you been asked to help someone you didn't even know, a student, a business entrepreneur, or did you ever even ask, where did they end up? That business, that friend, that entrepreneur. Well, just maybe they ended up in a gang, bankrupt, homeless, or worse, dead. Maybe they turned to crime, drugs, and alcohol. Did you ever wonder? Did you destroy their dream, or was your life always so easy? At the Black Business Olympics, we started a movement to help students complete. Give them hope and foster success. Help them to leave their dreams of providing laptops, computers, and up to $5,000 in scholarship funds. Today, we ask you to help a student, a business owner, or an entrepreneur to realize their dreams by sponsoring them, supporting them, and buying from them. Consider this. With $1.6 trillion in our Black community, we only ask for a small donation for our students, our businesses, and our entrepreneurs. And you can change a life today. So I ask you, what are you going to do? Sit on the sidelines and watch our students in high school be losers, miss out on their dream from lack of resources? Or are you going to donate to the movement and change their future and yours as well? Give us a call today at 919-308-9090. Change their life by investing with action to the Black Business Olympic Fund. The Black Business Olympics, one of the largest business showcases of Black business in the history of the world.
Why do I do what I do? You know, my life coach asked me that a few years ago. And she said, Tony, what's your why? And I told her, and she said, girl, you've already accomplished that. Perhaps you need a new why.
Hi, Tony Harris, Amy Hoydu with Say It Said Marketing, one of your students. And just wanted to say thank you, Tony Harris, for spending so much time with me and giving me that boost in my business that I so drastically needed.
My why decided to touch, move, and inspire my clients to take drastic steps to be better than they were before they met me. I'm a resource. I'm a connector. I want to help people build deeper relationships that are beneficial to their life and business. That's what I do best.
So, first thing you got to do is show up. And speaking is a way to magnetically attract your ideal client to you. How many of you use social media that way? Absolutely. And this is how you look to the world. Drastic steps are the steps that are needed to be successful. And my business is drastic denotes a mindset. Getting out of your comfort zone. Doing something that you don't necessarily feel comfortable doing, want to do, but you know it's a necessary step to be successful in your business.
I get the most satisfaction when I see my connections flourishing into relationships long after I am gone.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Augustine with Media Jasmine, and I've joined several networking and referral groups in the area. And Network in Action Northeast Houston with Tony Harris Taylor is one of the best organizations that I've joined.
I love that piece of what I do, and it is what fuels my fire. My name is Tony Harris Taylor, saying take a drastic step today for a fantastic tomorrow.
Attention all entrepreneurs and companies. Are you looking for reliable and efficient virtual assistants and back office support to help you manage your business tasks? Look no further than Superwoman Business Services. Our team of virtual assistants provides a full range of administrative support services, including operations management, social media marketing, and much more. We also offer website design services to help you create a professional online presence that reflects your unique brand. In addition to administrative support and website design, we offer business development and structuring services to help you grow your business and achieve your goals. We'll work closely with you to identify areas of improvement and develop a customized plan to help you reach your full potential. At Superwoman Business Services, we understand that running a business can be overwhelming and time-consuming. That's why we're here to help you fly high and achieve success. Our virtual assistants are highly skilled, experienced, and dedicated to providing you with the support you need to thrive. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights. Let us help you become the superhero entrepreneur you are meant to be. Contact Superwoman Business Services today to learn more about our back office support services. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights.
This is Dr. Arnold T. Petsworth. Yes, that's his given name. No, don't look into it. He's the owner of Petsworth Vet World, a veterinary clinic in Hopton, Connecticut. His patients include dog, cat, turtle, cat, turtle, frog, hamster, fish,
Goldie,
dog, and this alpaca. Due to doctor-patient confidentiality, we can't tell you their names. Business at Vet World was steady, and then quarantine hit. Neighbors on every lane, drive, and even a few cul-de-sacs brought new four-legged friends into their homes. Bunnies. Bunnies.
you guys are so cute.
Bunnies.
You are so cute.
Bunnies.
You're so cute.
Bunnies everywhere. A lifelong lover of Laporte, Dr. Petsworth welcomed these new patients with open arms.
Hi, how you doing? How is she? Did you meet Jackie? Jackie, Barbara, Jackie? This is Betsy.
The only problem?
Okay.
There were more appointments than he could manage.
Yes, I'm gonna get to you. Give me a second. We're gonna get you in real soon. Don't worry, all right? And then...
That's when Dr. Petsworth turned to his American Express business card, which offers flexible spending limits that adapt with his business. He decided to hire a new assistant, Julio, who's actually more of a bird guy. But that's just between us. And with the power to make big purchases in his hands, he used his card to furnish a new exam room with extra tail space. Together, Dr. Petsworth, Julio, and American Express Business made sure all the pets of Hompton got the love and care they deserved.
All right, Julio, man, that was great, man.
And everyone was happy, especially these guys. Get the card built for business by American Express.
Did you know a typical passenger vehicle that has a fuel economy of about 22 miles per gallon and drives about 11,500 miles per year emits about 4.6 metric tons of carbon dioxide on an annual basis? In order to save this planet we call home, we have to make an immediate change in the way we navigate everyday life. Derrick Automotive is that change. Our ambition is to build full-size, near-zero emission electric drive vehicles that don't rely on the electric grid. Derrick Automotive makes driving an electric vehicle extremely convenient without sacrificing a sleek, modern design that is sure to capture the attention wherever you go.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million plus women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get
In the heart of America, there are dreams waiting to be realized. Dreams of owning a home, creating a haven for families, and building a future.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good morning, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Sidney Wormsby. I'm founder and CEO of Strategic Solutions, a business growth and improvement firm. We help companies double their profits in 9 months or less. And I'm your business moderator for this morning on the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, Black business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. This morning, we have a very, very special treat for you. We're going to be doing a fireside chat with Captain Charles M. Cathcart, who's CEO of African Diaspora Maritime. Captain Cathcart was born in North Carolina, but raised in Iran, Maryland, and Ohio. He's traveled worldwide, visiting 25 countries from his maritime career. Exposure to life on the water has spanned several decades over his 26-year career on the waters of the world, and will attest. Highlights include crewing the majestic retired America's Cup J-class yacht Shamrock 5, which was built by Sir Thomas Lipton to challenge for the America's Cup in 1930. He's also was a member of the America Cubed, the 1992 America's Cup winning team. He served as a project manager for the St. Petersburg Yacht Club of Russia for the America's Cup World Championships. And he has the title of Vice Commander bestowed upon him in perpetuity, forever. With the Australian team in Sydney 95 for the 32nd America's Cup, Cathcart was on the data boat as the velocity predictions programs, linear perturbations, and vector analysis data were gathered and studied. So he then created and formed the African Diaspora Maritime to make history and to teach history, creating an extraordinary project that speaks of adventure, knowledge, and life-altering experiences, all based in Baltimore, Maryland. So, ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the captain, the Vice Commodore, Charles M. Cathcart.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I cannot complain at all. That's quite a career that you've had, some outstanding achievements, and some things that I think we'll probably have to explain, folks, why they're such a big deal, because we're not used to a lot of maritime and kind of naval terms, et cetera. But you've had some pretty impressive leadership roles, some pretty impressive responsibilities over your career. Talk a little bit about how you got involved first, in your interest and passion for the sea and for being on the water, and starting a career in the maritime industry and segment.
Well, everything starts with exposure. And as a child, I had a maritime encyclopedia, and it dealt with the biology that's in the water, the plants, the geography, and also the equipment that they use to measure those items. And it became extraordinarily interesting for me. And that doesn't mean that I wasn't exposed to more, but that really captured me. It's also important to know that the earth is 3/4 water.
So you said in your bio, we talked about your 26-year career. When you first got involved, did you have to get some special training for it, or did you kind of enlist, and then they developed you and taught you everything you needed to know? Talk a little bit about that progress.
So there's typical ways people get involved. If you're on the scientific side, you have to go to school for that. And so I studied at the California Maritime Academy, the Seamen's Training Center, and the Marine Institute. To get into the sailing part of it, you can take courses, or you can, if you know friends that have boats, you can get out and learn. and read. But now we're in the position that you can actually go online and learn just about anything that you want. And then to go out on the water, you actually have to physically get there with the boat. But we're in the point now that there's nothing that's beyond our grasp by getting online and learning.
So like with most industries, there's lots of different segments or avenues or aspects of it that you can get into. When maritime and with being on water, why the route that you chose versus the military or being a merchant or some of those other aspects?
So this is interesting. In the maritime industry, there's also people that are in the fishing industry. Mm-hmm. They ship containers. There's scientists that are going out doing research, but you can see the windsurfers and the sailboats and the power boats and all of those different things. And so you tend to want to diversify your career. And when I was sailing early in my career, I realized I wanted to get into the ocean research part as well. And I didn't want to say that I spent a 30-year career at the yacht club racing. I said, I want to split this up. And so I realized to diversify my career. And there's almost every aspect of the maritime industry is interesting. So, but you're going to find that if you're in the food growth, or if you're an oyster person or a shrimper or something like that, you don't usually transition into yacht racing. But if you're in the yacht racing world, you can transition typically into hydroponics or farming with the ocean. We're dealing with oysters or going into research as well. So you can bounce around within that big, broad industry. And it's interesting because it invigorates your mind. You don't feel bored, and you can always learn something new.
All right. It's like with every other industry, career management is an important piece. And as you said, you identified that, hey, it's easier to move this direction than it is this direction. Now, was that something that you knew before going in, or something you identified and made that career adjustment to?
Or you could even say that it's harder to do what I did, and you gravitate towards what's difficult to challenge yourself and to give yourself more stimulation. You don't want to say I'm doing an easy job. You want to say I'm doing something that's difficult, that taxes my intellectual, psychological, and physical limits. Mm-hmm. And in that way, you start to change yourself and improve yourself. Never go after something that's easy. It's not worth it.
Right. Well, and let me clarify, when I said easier, what I meant was people might make it make it seem more evident or obvious that, oh, we'll accept someone from this direction to this direction, but maybe there's stereotypes and stigmas if you're going from this direction to this direction.
Well, the other thing is that anybody, so let's say that you're an oyster person and you're working on a boat and you're putting boxes down in the bay or whatever, and you see a luxury yacht or a research vessel or a sailboat, and you say, you know what, something, I'm interested. Don't be held back by anything, because we're in the world now is completely open, and whatever you want to do, you have to pursue it. It doesn't mean that people go to your door and knock and grab you, but you certainly can learn and go and do anything. So with being involved with the America's Cup, which I worked for 3 teams and sailed on a retired America's Cup vessel, the America's Cup grabbed me because I went up to Newport, Rhode Island and saw the America's Cup retired boats, and they were magnificent. The typical boat that you see out in the harbor, if you're by the water, is about 40 feet, 50 feet long. And the boat that I ended up crewing on the first time is 137 feet long, and the mast is 150 feet high. That was Shamrock 5. So when you see something like that, it shocks you and you're drawn to it.
Yeah. Now, when talk a little bit about that, because, for folks who are not as familiar with the America's Cup, first, I'll let you explain to those what it is, but then also talk about the level of excellence, that, is needed if you're in those kinds of environments, and how you translate that to your business experience.
So the America's Cup is the oldest trophy in international sport. It started in 1851. So if you can think about where we were in this country in 1851, you can just imagine the magnitude of where we are now. And the United States had the New York Yacht Club, and they built a vessel to race, and they took it over to Europe and started out in France, and they just built a radically different boat. The mast, it usually stands up straight like that. They had it raked back, 2 masts, and they would go from port to port. There were expos and all kinds of activities going on, and they said, we want to race, but we also want to bet. And a lot of people didn't want to do it, but finally they get to England, and at that time, Britannia ruled the waves, and so they were at the Royal Yacht Squadron, and the Queen of England was there, and they challenged to race around the Isle, and the United States beat I think it was 15 vessels, maybe 13 or 15 vessels, and United States won. And that trophy was called the 100 Guineas Cup because that's how much it cost. But once we won it, it was called the America's Cup. And so since 1851, countries were coming to the United States to try to win that trophy. And finally, in 1983, the Australians won, and they took it down under. And then Dennis Conner from Stars and Stripes went back down and won in 1987, brought it back to the United States, and then it's just been going everywhere since. So right now, the New Zealanders are the current holders of the America's Cup, and they are going to host the America's Cup in Barcelona in September 2024.
All right. So now speak to the level of excellence on being or required to be involved in something like that. And again, tie it then to how you use that or how that is pertinent to your business experience.
Okay. So usually in high-level businesses, you get the best and the brightest. And so everybody's competing against each other. And that competition raises your skill set. So you don't necessarily come in at the 90th percentile. You could come in at the 60th or 70th percentile, but you get trained up. So the first thing that people want is they want to see your experience, your enthusiasm, and your willingness to work with other people. Mm-hmm. So when I worked for America Cubed, our motto was teamwork, talent, and technology. And we had a few people that were more talented, but they couldn't work together as a team. And so we got the highest level of talent and then required everybody to work together as a team. And that resulted in America Cubed winning the America's Cup in 1992. So you can train up from where you are, but it's also the ability to be cohesive, work as a team, and you have to get rid of your ego and be willing to make something great happen, even though you might not get the credit for it. So it's a really great mindset.
Interesting. So teamwork, talent, technology, in that order?
Well, those things are all concurrent. So if you don't have the technology, so for instance, the America's Cup, you are going to design and then build your own vessel. And if you build a slow vessel, it doesn't matter how talented and how much teamwork, because your boat's way back in the back. Right. So you've got to have all of these things running concurrently, and you're pushing everything to the limit. So even the designers are thinking about all the aspects of making a boat go faster. Now, what we're going to do with African Diaspora Maritime is we're going to use this process as a teaching tool for our young people, and I'm going to dare say everyone, and see how do you design the boat. And that's all STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. We can afford to learn more in every last field. And while we do that, we're also going to be teaching the history of the Black mariner. So I've got enough books that I can stack these books up, and these are all about the fact that Black people, African Americans, were in the maritime industry in a big way. So I can stack those things up to my knee, and there's movies out there. So when we hear in the news that our kids are falling behind in math scores, reading scores, and all the rest, we're going to use that as a moment where we can learn things and be excited about having a boat in the America's Cup, a team called African Diaspora Maritime, and it's going to create effectively the Jamaican bobsled team based in America.
Let's transition there, but before we go all the way, let's start with your initial decision about, being in the maritime industry, and the education that you went through, et cetera. As you alluded to, it's not something that most folks think about, Black people being in and excelling in. When you went in and made your decision that was going to be, your career, was there something specific that you wanted to accomplish, some specific goal or ideal that you had set? Or was it just your interest and passion from, as you said before, the books that you had growing up as a child?
Yeah, and I want to speak to that also. I was fortunate. I had the books. It was an encyclopedia. I read through it and was excited about marine biology. But I also want to tell everybody that's out there, you don't have to have a genesis story or an origin story that says I was always interested in flying planes or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. You can learn it now and say this sparked me. So I don't want to scare people away by saying you have to know about this as a child before you were ever able to do it as an adult. But my goal and my thinking is the more that we expose ourselves to more varied and diverse ideas, the more that we can diversify our workforce and have people that are interested in things that we've never heard of. And one of these days we'll bump into somebody that's a lepidopterist and we'll say, what in the world? And it doesn't mean that we have to already know it. We can learn it. And I think that's the real thesis of what we're going to do with ADM, is that you can learn it. And we also need to expose ourselves to more.
Right. So now talk about your formation and the founding of your organization.
Okay.
What motivated you? What prompted you? What's the goal that you're trying to achieve?
So when I got on these boats and I was out sailing, and the amount of attention that you get. So if you're in Newport, Rhode Island, and you have a Shamrock 5 jersey on, or people run up to you, if you're going to go to a restaurant, they buy you your meal. They just want to talk to you. And Shamrock 5 is famous. So I was excited about that. And I started to just look into it and to see how could I get African Americans involved. And the more that I dug into it, the more I learned. And one of the first people I learned about was Paul Cuffey, that was in New Bedford, Massachusetts. And he was an African American and Pequot Indian, and he had a fleet of vessels back during the time of President Madison's era. And it was extraordinary to read that book. And then one thing led to another, and I would just discover there was another book. And I said, we have enough history and knowledge of the maritime trades that we could be creating a team. But remember, even if we didn't, you can still do it anyway.
Right.
So it helped, but it wasn't required. And then when I started to read these books, I was inspired. One of the most amazing guys is James Thornton, who had a sail loft in Philadelphia and is considered one of the founding fathers of Philadelphia, and African-American during slavery, very wealthy, and a gentleman of color. So these guys are out there. They own things. They're mariners, they're captains, they're crews, and they're all over the place. So it's extraordinary. And I think our young people, and I'll say not only our young people, but old people will read these and be inspired.
Okay. So what's the goal you're trying to achieve with the organization? Is it merely kind of to open folks' eyes to the possibilities? So talk about, do you have some specific missions and visions, for the organization?
So just like any organization, let's say it's a sports organization, but it's much more because you have to design and then build your own vessel. So at the very beginning, it's a competition. So you want to get in to win. You don't want to get in just because you want to be there. So if we translated it to football, I'm sure every team wants to win the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But during that chase of trying to get to the pinnacle, you improve yourself, you're trying, you're learning new things, and you're growing. So it's a challenging situation. You're not just saying, well, I'm just happy to be here, because then it's not worth it. All the time and energy that you put into something, it's because you want excellence. So if you're pursuing excellence, you may not get to that perfection that's on the horizon, but you're striving and you're running toward it. And that's where all the breakthroughs come, is because you're trying to learn and trying to do better, trying to learn new tactics, learn new building techniques, learning new design techniques. That's all in one big ball. And at the end of your career, you realize how far you've come. So learning, exploring, growing, doing, and then trying to achieve is the goal of any business that you would be in, and certainly the America's Cup.
Okay. Now, when did you form the organization?
Well, remember, so here I am, a young crew member on Shamrock 5, and then I get hired into America Cube, the current America's Cup team. And then my mind sparks, and I think, wow, it would be great to have a team that features and exposes African Americans. But these teams at the time were costing $30-40 million to have, and then the price kept going up. So you have to think about that, and you say, how could I get to that level? So when I worked for America Cubed, I just was in the back of my mind, I wonder if we could ever have a team. So when you put it together, the first thing you're thinking of is getting corporate sponsors to come on board, and then you realize that's not going to work because they won't pay for everything. And something extraordinary happened that I'd been saying. So I looked it up and started to study how much the professional sports leagues were making in the sales of their uniforms, hats, jackets, T-shirts, and the number is staggering. So I would tell people that, and I say, you can fund the America's Cup team by your hats, jackets, and T-shirts and bumper stickers and whatnot. And people thought, well, this guy's crazy. And then in 2018, the Nigerians for the World Cup had a fashion show right before the Cup started, and online they sold 3 million jerseys at $90 a piece in 3.5 minutes. So they created $270 million. So we're in the process of already having our fashion shoot. You can see how beautiful that is. And look at that. We don't wear hats anymore. We're wearing helmets, but these things are going to go up for sale. They're for sale now, but we've already made a commercial, and the commercial is going to be posted online, I would imagine, this week. And we expect the same enthusiasm to purchase. And when they do, we will have created wealth. And with that wealth, we run the team, but we're going to do some secondary and tertiary things. This is where you're probably going to get excited. We're going to do something in Baltimore called Craft City. And in Craft City, we're going to take that money, run the team, but we're also going to buy 100 golf bags, open up some tennis courts, more swimming pools, some archery ranges, and we're going to expose people to a more diverse and scientific pursuit of sports. And they're going to learn the STEM behind these sports. And also, while they watch the America's Cup, we're going to build a big compound and build a couple of boats. So we're talking with MIT right this minute and working with the Hart Museum, which has all the America's Cup architecture. And we're going to build a couple of boats in Baltimore and use it for field trips and to expose people to STEM, to the old way of building boats, and then to the current thing of carbon fiber, laminates, resins, polymers, and carbon fiber. So this is going to be a scientific event, also with the history of the Black Mariner, a historical event. I think it's going to wrap up to be extraordinary.
Well, you touched on a topic there that I think is profound, and you've mentioned it a couple different times in a couple different ways. The resourcefulness and the importance of being resourceful in terms of success, and just how Black people throughout history have had to be resourceful, and it's led to lots of progress in industry segments and for our people. So there you're talking about with all of the history of different America's Cup teams. It was the Nigerians, who kind of spearheaded that idea of let's fund a different way, maybe out of their need and lack of sponsors, et cetera, et cetera. So, and you're now taking that to a whole nother level with what you're trying to do, not only for your organization, but for a whole community within the city of Baltimore.
Sure. And I think that when you look at different avenues to create wealth, we obviously knew the old model, which was brick and mortar, and you'd see IBM or Shearson Lehman or Sears or whatever it was, BF Goodrich. And you would see brick and mortar. Now, if somebody were to say Uber, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, these are billion-dollar companies, but we don't really understand it. And so we have to think differently, and we have to know that there's people on the cutting edge of thinking and generating resources and capital where we have to take a cue. So the Nigerian team was not a sailing team. That was the World Cup soccer. And I had already said in 2012 in a video, you can make this level of money by selling hats, jackets, and T-shirts, because I looked at the NFL revenue and the NBA revenue from these teams. What are you making when you sell these hats, jackets, and T-shirts? I mean, if you look at a college football game, you can see, or let's say you guys are in North Carolina, the Tar Heels. I was born in Carolina. That stadium for the basketball team is filled with Carolina uniforms. Right. The fans are wearing it. They're buying it. So there's revenue that's generated, and we have to understand this business model. We can't just be the player on the field. We also have to be the business owner, manager, and operator to get into that level.
Know the business of the business. Talk about your organization and the age at which you start with students and with children in terms of your programming process.
So we're going to do a K through 12 situation. And of course, once you do K through 12, that means it's open for the adults to learn as well. And what I've noticed is that if we just teach the kids the K through 12, then it's at the expense of the adults in the house learning it as well. So we want the adults to pay attention. And part of the thing we're going to do is we're going to bring young people down for field trips. We're going to get them around the boats and let them know. And eventually, when we start to go to different regattas around the world, we're going to bring a contingent of young people with us, not just for the sailing, but the idea of a young person saying, I'm in Sweden, I'm in Hong Kong at the Royal Hong Kong Regatta, and they have a passport, they learn a little bit of Chinese, learn how to use chopsticks. And so it's a cultural expansion, and it's a broadening of the mind. So we have to know that not just the sailing, but when you go around the world, you're learning. And there's plenty of people that say that traveling is also an extraordinary learning tool. So we're going to have that vicariously. Not everybody can go around the world with us, but we're going to post everything on our website. And we're going to make this a situation where people can be inspired, learn vicariously, and there'll be a lucky few. I mean, there's 50 million African Americans plus the general population, but we're going to have teaching tools. So one of the most exciting ones is the adventures of Captain Balti Kids. And so he's going to be dressed up in that old naval uniform, you know, that big sideways hat that Napoleon wore, and he'll have the little gold on his shoulders, and he'll have a crew. And we're going to hide the treasure in the inner harbor or anywhere around Baltimore, and Captain Balti Kid and his crew are going to try to find it. And we're going to make those young people live. It's going to be a live action event, live action series, Black, white, Asian, Hispanic. We're going to start out with a little black young man as Captain Balti Kids. And there's going to be pirates, right? And the pirates are going to try to trick him and foil him and turn the sign and put a banana peel out there and make him slip up. And it's going to be a chance for us to show something fun. But at the halfway point of every episode, he's going to break out and say, I used this compass. This compass was discovered and made this year. This is how you use a compass. This is how you use a sextant, a telescope, or read a chart or a map. And we're going to start to learn some things that we just didn't. And I remember Fat Albert, they said, if you're not careful, you're going to learn something.
You're right,
and right. Do that. So you're not careful, you're going to learn something. Yeah. And I think we're going to make it exciting as well.
So how many children do you work with or young folks do you work with today? And what's your goal and objective for where you want to take this?
Historically, I've been teaching for 20 years. So when I started doing the ocean research, we would bring people on the ocean research vessel every year for years. And we have a curriculum that we've built up. And I don't want to jump the gun because there's going to be a major announcement coming soon. But I will tell you, it's easy to train people and to have them come out, be on a boat, even if we don't take the boat far, put on a life jacket and just motor them around. It's exciting, enthralling, and it's going to create situations where people's minds are sparked. And I've joked and laughed and said some people aren't going to like the water. They don't want to get their hair wet or whatever. But the boats are made out of laminates, resins, polymers. So that's a direct entree into chemistry,
right,
chemical engineering. And so these are career paths. And some people are going to say, I don't want to race, but I'm concerned about the wetlands and conserving the water. So you can get into the biology of it, wetlands conservation, all the different aspects of water. And obviously, we've heard in Detroit that the water was dirty and we're drinking dirty water. Well, we have to learn how to process the water, clean it back up, and make it palatable for people to drink it. So there's any number of fields you can get involved, but this is going to be the exciting entree into the maritime industry.
So talk about, we're we're running to the end of time, or end of our time. Not the end of time, not the end of time, but that's a little ways away, hopefully. But talk a little bit about the obstacles you're facing right now and how people might be able to help, with moving this forward.
So beautiful statement. What we're doing right now is we've reached out to, and even Dr. Kelly, and we said we need a famous person to post our commercial that we've already made. So somebody's going to say, well, what's the commercial? Well, you can write to me. You can go to our website at admsailing.com. And we want someone who is well-known, has a social media platform, and then we post and show them the commercial. They can put it on their platform. And once we sell about 50,000 items, and remember, there's 300 million plus people in America, 50 million African Americans. So these numbers are very low. And that'll give us the money to purchase our $2 million training vessel. And once we christen that vessel, which we project we'll be able to purchase, takes 5 weeks to fabricate it, and we'll christen that in September of this year and then start training. So we are dealing with people right now where we have a contract and an agreement that they're going to do that, but we still haven't done it yet. So if there's somebody out there that says, you know something, I like this kind of project. This is the effective Jamaican bobsled team in America, and we've got to do more to inspire more people to do greater things.
Super. So do that again in terms of your contact. What's the contact website?
admsailing.com. So it's African Diaspora Maritime. If you Google African Diaspora Maritime and scroll past the website, you'll see a bunch of news articles, and you can click on those and read them, or you can click on the videos and see them. They're interesting. You're going to see me also. You're going to get sick of me, but very shortly you'll start seeing the crew, and that's going to be the real excitement. But I believe that if we take a look and say this is the effective Jamaican bobsled team based in America, you realize a movie is going to be made about this, and this is really going to be our chance to teach, and it's going to be a tool. So we're really excited about this.
I think you've got an outstanding, inspirational project and idea going. I do want you to reach back out to me. I have a client that I think might be interested in helping you with a couple of the things that you mentioned about. And they do some stuff on animation, etc., that I think might fit in with the storytelling that you were talking about. So
Sure.
Let's connect outside of here, and I'll get you their information and make the connection for you guys to talk and see if there's something that can help there as well.
I really appreciate it, and I'm thrilled to be on your show. This is extraordinary. And Dr. Kelly and I are both Carolinians, but I believe that he's a Duke fan, but I like UNC.
So I grew up, my dad was military also, on the Air Force. And I grew up in another Carolina, South Carolina.
Uh-oh.
So I grew up rooting for the Gamecocks, not the Tar Heels.
You're a natural enemy. I kind of liked you this whole program.
Until then, right?
Ruining things.
Well, I left there and I went to Michigan State undergrad and grad school. So I'm now green and white.
Sparty.
Spartan. Yes, Sparty.
Another natural enemy, because my parents retired to Ohio, so we're Buckeyes.
Oh, the Ohio State, huh?
As they mentioned, the Buckeyes are useless nut.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to use that one in our Big Ten jokes, session. So
don't hurt us. We're sensitive.
All right, Captain, Vice Commodore. Great meeting you. Great talking with you. Good luck with the program. Do reach out. I'd like to, pass on that contact info to you. And as we say, Genius is common. I'll see you on the other side.
Thank you, sir. What a pleasure.
All right. Wow, that's phenomenal. Not only in terms of the idea, the impact that it's having now and that's going to have. I think we'll hear some pretty big and great things from Mr. Kitkard going forward. So, and that's the kind of information and the kind of impact you get with the Black Business Expo. So remember, the Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or K through 12 entrepreneurs. The expo is a fundraiser for students. So you can go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Again, that's www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund. Or you can use the Cash App that should be on the screen below with the account $BBX USA. Again, $BBX USA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. And students, you can register online also at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. So please, please, please make sure you go and donate to the scholarship fund. We'd also like to thank the Black Business Expo sponsors for this month. They include NC 100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Ritchie Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, BHS and Associates, Margie McLean Foundation Incorporated, Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Milani Shani Global, the Executive Women's Success Institute, the Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, and Black Business Expo USA. I'm Sidney Wormsby, and remember, genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Hello, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. And my genius is helping women accelerate the path to success. You know, I was blessed to have strong women in my life who encouraged, motivated, and pushed me to do my best and to never even think about giving up on my dreams. So I say to women, we must show up to rise up. We have talents and potential, but who will see them if we don't speak up and get noticed? I know that women are a tremendous resource on this planet, and there is nothing more fulfilling than helping a woman tap into her full potential. I do this because I want to be a part of helping as many women as I can to show up, to rise up. I do this because genius is common.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support, where health education is abundant, where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children with caring mentors and hands-on activities with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
Introducing Electaworld. The metaverse is widely being labeled as the next phase in human evolution. This second world is no longer just science fiction. AR and VR are coming together to form new communities and limitless possibilities, powered by a brand new kind of money, virtual currencies. Our world will be eco-friendly, emitting near-zero carbon, and feature Electa motors and their full fleets of green electric vehicles. This will create real business opportunities where users can actually earn real revenue. Electaworld will be completely free of all types of discrimination. No race, gender, sexual orientation, national origin, or any other type of discrimination will ever limit you in Electaworld. Electaworld will feature around 3,000 plots of land of various sizes for sale in year one, with a heavy focus on commercial land and luxury residential real estate. More details coming March of 2022. Electaworld. Join the new evolution.
This is Dr. Arnold T. Petsworth. Yes, that's his given name. No, don't look into it. He's the owner.
Dr. Eric Kelly III and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Tell me, are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black Business. Black Business Expo. one of the largest business showcases in the history of black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black Business.
I am Black Business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black Business. I am Black Business. Are you Black Business? I am Black Business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business.
Attention all entrepreneurs and companies. Are you looking for reliable and efficient virtual assistants and back office support to help you manage your business tasks? Look no further than Superwoman Business Services. Our team of virtual assistants provides a full range of administrative support services, including operations management, social media marketing, and much more. We also offer website design services to help you create a professional online presence that reflects your unique brand. In addition to administrative support and website design, we offer business development and structuring services to help you grow your business and achieve your goals. We'll work closely with you to identify areas of improvement and develop a customized plan to help you reach your full potential. At Superwoman Business Services, we understand that running a business can be overwhelming and time-consuming. That's why we're here to help you fly high and achieve success. Our virtual assistants are highly skilled, experienced, and dedicated to providing you with the support you need to thrive. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights. Let us help you become the superhero entrepreneur you are meant to be. Contact Superwoman Business Services today to learn more about our back office support services.
Did you know a typical passenger vehicle that has a fuel economy of about 22 miles per gallon and drives about 11,500 miles per year emits about 4.6 metric tons of carbon dioxide on an annual basis? In order to save this planet we call home, we have to make an immediate change in the way we navigate everyday life. Derrick Automotive is that change. Our ambition is to build full-size, near-zero emission electric drive vehicles that don't rely on the electric grid. Derrick Automotive makes driving an electric vehicle extremely convenient without sacrificing a sleek, modern design that is sure to capture the attention wherever you go. Make the choice to take part in a movement to help preserve our planet today. Choose Derrick Automotive. Visit us on the web today to learn more.
Hello, my name is Kiasi Helm and I'm 14 years old. I think my genius would probably have to be setting goals and achieving them. I say this because ever since I was young, I always wanted to be an author, and at age 11 I ended up achieving this. But not only did I end up becoming an author, I ended up becoming a public speaker, a publisher, a business owner, all these great things. The name of my business is Written by Kids Publishing Company. I decided to start this company because I thought it was important for me to help kids my age express themselves through literacy and just achieve their own goals. Because to me, achieving goals is the best thing in the world to feel. It's you just achieving things and aspirations that you set for yourself. And I know that everybody is capable of this because even if you don't end up achieving the goal, you still tried your best, and that's the most important thing. And everybody is capable of this because genius is common. Thank you.
Did you know women represent just 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs and less than 15% of corporate executives at top companies worldwide? Have you wondered what the secrets are to getting into the top ranks, whether in the private or public sector? Do you want to figure out how to stop being held back in your career or passed over for promotion? Then you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Dr. Madeline Ann Lewis, President and CEO of the Executive Women's Success Institute. I have decades of experience in the military, the federal government, and corporate America, and my mission is to help women succeed and tap into their full potential. I want to reach 1 million+ women around the world to become the leaders they are meant to be. So if you want to move into a management or executive level position, or maybe you are a female veteran transitioning out of the military into business entrepreneurship, then reach out to the Executive Women's Success Institute at 301-693-3284. Let us get you on the fast track to success.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good morning, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Sidney Wormsby. I am the founder and CEO for Strategic Solutions, a business growth and improvement firm. I'm your business moderator for this morning on the Black Business Network. Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, educate businesses about business. We've been getting off to a rip-roaring pace this morning, and we're not going to slow up with this next speaker. Ms. Tanya T. Wise, who will be talking to us about mastering your craft and your money. Ms. Wise is an accomplished author, writer, speaker, and consultant whose expertise spans over 30 years of empowering business owners, entrepreneurs, and families to achieve their goals and to overcome obstacles. As a dedicated coach and speaker and consultant, she's transformed countless lives through her insightful guidance and motivational approach. With a unique talent for identifying individual goals, Tanya helps her clients develop actionable plans that lead to tangible results. Her strategic decision-making advice and mentoring have proven instrumental in guiding businesses and individuals toward success. Her passion for making a positive impact shines through her counseling and support. She's dedicated to providing necessary tools, assistance, and guidance that pave the way for growth and fulfillment. Her wealth of experience in business planning, building, and management serves as a solid foundation for her insightful consultations. I present to you Ms. Tanya T. Wise. Good morning.
Good morning, Sydney. How are you?
Good to see you. Yeah, looking sharp with those glasses.
Thank you. My opticals.
Fashionista there. Fashionista. Well, I know you have a ton of tips to offer, folks, so I'm going to get out of your way and let you go to it. I know folks are going to find you both wise and insightful and looking forward to it. So as we say, genius is common. I'll see you on the other side.
I'll see you on the other side, Sydney.
All right.
Good morning. Have you mastered your craft? Have you found something that you are so great at? Maybe it's hair, nails, maybe you're an electrician, or even a mechanic, maybe a plumber. No matter what your talent is, I find that so many of us stop right there. Hi, my name is Tanya T. Wise, and I am the founder and CEO of Tanya T. Wise Enterprise. I help people that lack clarity, that find themselves lacking stress, a pivoting time in life, or even just lack the confidence to take their talent to the highest level. We help give a GPS. We're going to give guidance, procedures, and strategies so that you can live your best life and leave an inheritance. See, I often find that so many of us take a while to find out what our purpose is, or even our passion. And for many years, I thought that passion and purpose was the exact same thing. But it wasn't until I had a coach, a mentor, who helped me see the significant difference. See, I've done so many different businesses. I've done dump trucks, tow trucks, assisted livings, hair salons, nail tech, med tech, eyelash infusionists, medical billing, real estate, as well as notary. And those are just a host of the ones that I can even remember that I did, and I did well. Those are things that people actually paid me to do. And so as time went on, I was able to figure out exactly what my purpose was. I found out exactly what my passion is. And now I made a profit that I want to transition that in to help other people do the exact same thing. See, your passion is for you. And many of us try to make passion what we get paid for. But passion doesn't pay, which means you have to move into your purpose. When you move into your purpose is what will pay you, because that is what will sustain you. And sometimes we'll find passion within our purpose, which makes it a double positive. See, what I'm saying and why we even birthed out through All Me New Beginning, the purpose of mastering your craft and mastering your money is because some people get good at what it is that they're doing, and they forget to master the business side. They forget to master the money. So whereas you're putting in 20 plus, 30 plus, sometimes even 40 plus hours in your business, and most of us start out with working a full-time job alongside of working what it is that we like to do in our part-time. And so I want to urge you to not just have a hobby business, but to move your business from being in a hobby status to being in a part-time status to possibly going full-time in your business, working for yourself. So many of us work for what? Our first name. But what I want to challenge you today to do is also work for your last name, which means you may work a 9 to 5, but then are you destined to transition into your own business where you work full-time for yourself, your last name? And that's what we do at All New Beginning. We help you make that transition because so many of us make the wrong mistakes. Now, I'm telling you what makes me different is that I help you do the transition that I made 7 years ago. Now, all those businesses that you heard me say, I've done them over a decade of time. I did them while working a full-time job at some of the prestigious corporations around the world. Why I help them budget their money and put up processes and do strategically plan, I also was doing that for myself. And it was easier for me to transition once I started doing those things for myself. So maybe you've already decided what it is that you wanted to do, but are you doing it? Maybe you've already started working with someone else. I'm going to give you a couple of clues so you can learn how to start transitioning to full-time. Now, there are about 10 things that I've done, but I only have time to talk to you about 3 or 4 of them today. Okay, so the very first thing is, what is your accounting system? What do you have in place to document, to invoice, to accept payments? And if you've already mastered that, the next thing I'm going to ask you is, what have you done for clarity? Do you have your vision, your mission statement, so you can transition from hobby to now being in business? Now, Robert Kiyosaki wrote a book, and he talks about the 4 quadrants. And if you don't know who Robert Kiyosaki is, he wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And anybody that is destined to go in business for themselves, I encourage you to read it. If you've already read it, read it again. But with that being said, he also wrote a book about the 4 quadrants. Now, many of us grew up in corporate America, and we saw our parents either have a corporate job or a government job. And so we wanted to keep that tradition going. However, we're now in the 21st century, and being in the 21st century, this is the education side of business. And people are monetizing off of teaching other people what they've already mastered. So you're going to see a host of influence of coaches, mentors in business. And I want you to know how to look and see which one you can work with and why you should work with that coach or that mentor. So I'm going to give you some clues on what to look for, what questions to ask, because after all, if not, it'll be like racing on a treadmill. You'll be running, but you won't get far. And have you done your research? See, the average business fails in the first 3 to 5 years. They say if you have your business and it lasts over 5 years, you have a good potential in lasting a long time. But why do most people business close in the first 1 to 3 years? Well, number one is they master their craft, but never master the money. See, if you don't have the discipline to make sure that you're not spending all the money that your business brings back in. Now, what do I mean by that? See, we feel that if we make the money and we invest the money back into the business, that means we're doing a good thing. But that's not always the case. Because if you're putting every single dollar back into the business, you're never paying yourself, then you will keep doing that. You'll blink your eye in about 5 to 10 years, you'll continue to do that, which is why the number one reason most businesses don't last. Number 2, you become very good at what you're doing, but do you take any continuing ed classes and courses? Do you continue to personal develop? Do you continue to have an upward mobility attitude? What I'm saying is that people will get into leadership, which is the first thing of leadership, where people will promote you if you're working a conventional job. And from that promotion, you'll lead people. But does that mean that you are talented and gifted in leadership? No, it does not. It means that now you need to do some personal development so that you can lead a team effectively. That's the number 2 reason, because see, if you start a business and you never learned how to lead people, then how are you going to hire people? You'll hire people, but you'll also have people leaving. You probably will have people quitting before you get a chance to fire them. You'll have a revolving door. Now, granted, certain businesses already have a revolving door, but if you don't have great leadership, that revolving door will revolve even faster. My number 3 reason is clarity. Do you have a clear vision that you can also offer to the people, your teammates, your people that you will be hiring, which we call them employees? Because if you don't have a clear vision, how can you have a forecast of explaining that to them for them to also have a clear vision in what it is that you want to do? Number 4, being able to make sure that you put yourself first. I oftentimes talk to my clients which are business owners or entrepreneurs. And I know you're asking, well, Tanya, what is the difference between a business owner and an entrepreneur? And I will explain that in a few moments. But what I want to talk to you about is when I sit down with them, the first thing is they talk about all the people they pay, but they neglect one particular person. Put that in the chat. You absolutely guessed it. We neglect to pay ourselves. See, if you pay all the bills, which include your employees, your subcontractors, your utilities, your vehicle expenses, travel expenses, but you never pay yourself. What tends to happen is that you'll continue that process, and before you know it, you never learned how to pay yourself. So with my model, I teach you to pay yourself first. And I teach you how to pay yourself first. I also teach you how to have tax-free income as well as have your money multiplied. So that brings me to my 3 M's. My very first M is showing you how to make money. And some of you may already know how to make money, but are you keeping more of the money that you're making, or is more of your money that you're making going right back out? The old folks used to say it like this: you make it on one hand, but it goes out just as fast on the other hand. If that's you, then I want you to pay closer attention. I want you to go grab your money making pen and your successful journal, and I want you to start taking some notes, okay? The other reason that many of us never master our money is because we've been told to save. But who's taught us how to save? See, when we were growing up, our parents taught us about a piggy bank, and many of us never grew outside of a piggy bank. What do I mean by that? Well, I want to bring up a goldfish. When you went to the carnival and you got a goldfish and you had them in a little bag, some of us also bought the little 5x7 container, and we had our goldfish in those containers, only for it to live a few years and only for it to expand over a few inches. But if you took that same goldfish and you put it in an aquarium and you allowed it and you fed it and you allowed it to continue to grow, you expanded its environment, that goldfish now probably grew from a few inches to a few feet. And then if you took that same goldfish and you put it in the ocean, now it went from feet to yards. See, what environment are you in? Who is coaching you? And how is it lining up with your goals? See, when you don't expand your mindset, when you don't change your subconscious mind, your CPU system, then you keep thinking the way that you've been thinking for so long. You keep thinking from the time that you were first in business. Someone told you that you were good at that. Someone told you that they liked how you did it, and then they paid you, or they offered to offer you some money, or you figured it out on your own and you started charging. But what I'm saying is people don't charge their worth. And that's because of your confidence, which brings me to my second point. When you lack confidence, when you lack clarity, you won't charge the right dollar amount. I see people charging a lot of money for low talent, and I see people with great talent charging a little bit of money. And what I'm challenging you to do is to see where you are and fix it. If you have great talent, then learn to monetize off that talent. And that's one of the things that we do here at All New Beginning. We teach you how to make money, how to manage your money, and most importantly, how to monetize your money. And see, we don't always monetize our money because we get stuck in one transition. We get stuck in doing one thing. But if you are not good at money management, then you have to hire someone. Myself and my team, that's one of our specialties, is to help manage your finances. And I don't mean traditional bookkeeping. I'm talking about taking what you have and helping you multiply it. See, many of us get stuck in the entrepreneur level. Let me explain what the entrepreneur and the business level is. See, in the entrepreneur level, you're doing all the work. So let me paint that picture for you. If you had a brick and mortar, that means you're the one that's opening. That means you're the one that's in there from the time you open at 6 or 7 in the morning, right? Because you got to preparate. You got to get things in order. You got to make sure that everything is ready for when you open the doors at 8 or 9, depending on what market you serve, what's your target market, right? And so if you're hosting the people that are coming to you before they go to work, then that means you have to get to your business and open your business before 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. If you had a cleaners, you would have to get there extra early because people need their uniforms. They need their suits. They need their dresses before they go to work, sometimes before they even travel. So you got to do preparation, right? Then after you preparate, now you're servicing the client. Then you're taking the money. Then you're going in the back to make sure everything is right back there and keep moving. But if you're in the back and someone come in the front door, how are you going to do both things? Those are entry level. And many of us get stuck right there. So for me, I was a home-based business, and I got stuck in the home-based business for many, many years, for decades. And so it wasn't until I realized that I have to hire help. What type of help do I need, Tanya? Well, in my position, I needed a virtual assistant, or I needed a personal assistant. someone that can help do some of the administration work. Because when you don't have anyone doing that, you're stuck with doing that. And then that takes away from the very talent and the skill sets that you have, because we want to do those things. So I'm good at editing videos. I can do logos, but that's not what I'm good at. It's just something that I know how to do, right? And I do it at a high level that someone would pay me to do it. But what I specialize is helping people monetize their money, helping people identify the blind spots, and helping them implement tools and strategies and resources, and connecting with people and resources so that they can level up, so they can get to the next level, whether you're just starting a business or whether you have a business and you want to get to the next level. That's what I specialize in. Oftentimes, when you are the frame, you can't see the picture. So you need another set of eyes. You need someone that can see the picture and the frame. You need someone that can hear what your goals are. See, many of us are taught to see with our eyes and hear with our ears. But what I want to challenge you to do is not just to see with your eyes, but to also hear with your eyes and also see with your ears. Because do you know that body language is 90% of communication? So when you cannot see and hear with your eyes, you're missing out on 80% of what's going to level your business up. You're missing out on ways to increase the volume of clients. You're missing out on how to convert likes and hearts into converting clients. You're missing out on growth within your business. See, I always like to talk about my successes and my failures, because those are your roadmap. We want to help you with the GPS, putting everything you need in place to reach your destiny, to know where you're going at all times, to identify your peripheral vision, as well as to see your blind spots, being able to see what's ahead of you, but also looking in the rearview mirror. Many of us are looking in our rearview mirror, hoping to go forward, but you can't get where you're going to your destination looking in the rearview mirror. You also cannot keep turning around. Most of us are making a ton of U-turns in our business and in our personal life, which hinders us from moving forward, which hinders us from getting and reaching a level of our full potential. But when you have someone in your corner, a coach, a mentor is your biggest cheerleader. We're also the people that can tell you what to do, when to do it, and most key importance is why not to do something. Now, I can't speak for any other coach, but what I can tell you for me and my team is that we want to show you how, when, and what to do things. Oftentimes, you'll know what to do, but how to do it is a total different thing. Have you ever taken a course and they tell you exactly what to do, but then when you turn off the recording, you go to do it, you have half of the product? What is the main recipe? What is the ingredients that you have? And see, sometimes you can have all of the ingredients, but if you're doing it at the wrong time, it's not going to work. Tanya, unpack that for us. Let me unpack that. If you were baking a cake and you had all the ingredients, you had the eggs, you had the flour. Most important, when you were unpacking that, you had the recipe. You had your grandmother's recipe or great chef's recipe. So the eggs, the flour, the baking pan, the oil, your vanilla, any of the ingredients that they don't tell you until you take their course, you have all of that laid out on the counter. And you start whipping up the batter in the mix. And you're putting everything in it and you're whipping it up. And then you pour the cake out of the bowl into the pan and into the oven. And then you walk out the kitchen and you come back and you realize that you never put the egg in the batter. And so now you want to put the egg on top of the cake. Would that cake taste the same? I'm sure probably not. But that's exactly what we're doing in our businesses. That's exactly what we're doing when we're taking courses. We're not being totally coachable, even when we think we're being coachable. So one of the major reasons that I see people not hit their full potential is they lose the accountability part, which is one of the major things that we need is accountability. How do you lose it? Because you start out paying for a course that you can't necessarily afford. And when you do that, and not set up the long trajectory of understanding this is not a one-time showcase. This is something that is now a habit. This is something that I have to be in my lifestyle, that I have to have it. Then you start thinking of it a little different. You'll start realizing once you reach one level that now you can move and elevate and escalate to the next level. But the only way you can do that is by keeping your coach in. Let me explain to you. Have you ever gotten directions to a place you knew you've been at before? And you figured that you'll just get a little bit of the information because after all, you've been here before. But it's been a long time since you've been there. So you're not necessarily sure of all the directions, but you feel like when you get close, you'll be able to identify your area. But see, there's always construction going on. Things that look like they used to look don't always look the same. Even us, even me. See, I know I look different because I am turning 53 in about 12 more hours. And look, I don't look like I looked yesterday. I don't even look like I looked an hour ago. So back to my point. My point is, many times we will start on the route. We'll get some of the directions from the person we may be meeting. And then what do? We shut off the GPS. Then what we do? We feel like we can take it from here. We think that we know which direction we're going. We even do it with the Most High. We feel like we know what he's saying to us. And we on the directions, we got our direction. We feel like we're going north. And then all of a sudden, there's a fork in the road. And through that fork in the road, we can't remember if we should go left or right. But we feel like, you know what? Let me go left. This looks familiar to me. But the problem is, have you ever noticed that in every state, in every city, in every county, there are streets with the same name? So where you felt like you were going in the right direction, you just headed east when you should have been heading west. You just went north when you should have been going south. And I'm saying that to say this is why you have to talk to someone that's been where you've been, that's going where you're going, and that can help transition you to where you want to be. Because when you do that, when you have the accountability, when you're talking to someone that can hold your hand and guide you, they can remind you of what you said, when you said it, and oftentimes also remind you why you said it. And through that is how you will reward yourself by accomplishing the very things you want. So I really want to summarize for you some of the tips and the tools and the resources that we went over today. One of the major things that we talked about is not just mastering your craft, but mastering your money, understanding what every single dollar and where it's going. Also, the money that you're making. What income generating things do you have in place? What's really paying you the most amount of money? And what is really just a time thief? What is taking time from you, but not paying you what you're worth? See, many of us also want to transition into our full-time, but the number one reason is fear. But can you transition fear into fierceness? Can you take what's scaring you and multiplying that into the right resources so that it no longer scare you? You have the confidence, you have the faith that it's going to come to pass. The other part that we talked about is making sure that we understand what it is that our money can do for us, that we're using money as a tool, and we can utilize that with techniques. Then what? That's when the magic happens. That's when you absolutely get your full potential. That's when you are getting paid your worth. But so many of us get stuck in the fear that we never start to use money as a tool. Some people are getting paid on Friday. See, a job, in my belief, in my metaphor for this, is if you always chasing money, you'll always be running. We start out with a conventional 9-to-5, but that 9-to-5 was to make money to help us with our talents, our skill sets, that we can start a business. And then once you start that business, you want to elevate and move and transition that business to a whole nother level. And through doing that, that's when we're able to see what we were built for, what our passion and our purpose truly means. And then we're able to change communities. We're able to change the world. See, I want you to be an impact player. I want you to be a world changer. And the only way you can do that is when you're partnered with someone that understands you, when you're working with someone that has been where you're going, but have already achieved what it is that you want to achieve. So I want to ask you, are you on track? Are you accomplishing the very things that you want to accomplish? And do you know how? See, many of us don't master our money because of a lack of education. We talked about it. We're told to save, but who's teaching us how to save? Let me explain what I mean. We start out bank accounts, and that's because we saved some money. We accumulated enough that now it's in our sock drawer, but we realize that we need more money set aside. So we now know that we got to pay some bills. We take it down to the local bank, Bank of America, Truist, B&T, M&T, or Navy Federal, any credit unions. And now at that very point, the teller sees that you have a lump sum of money and they say, well, would you like a savings account? And even nowadays, they make it mandatory for you to have a savings account when you open a checking account, depending on what bank it is. So you say, yes, absolutely. Why? Because there was a trigger in your subconscious mind that reminded you that your parents said, save money. So when you heard savings account, you was like, okay, let me save some money. But what we didn't necessarily realize is that saving our money in a traditional bank may only allow us to have a portion of money. We are really not getting a great rate of return on that money because that is where we're just supposed to have emergency fund. That's not where we're supposed to have our wealth building account from. If you go and search, and I challenge you today to go to your local bank and put in the search bar what rate of return you're getting on your traditional savings account. And right now it's a 0.045. So what does that mean? That means you're getting less than 1%. But even if you were getting 1% and you had $1, it would take you 72 years to turn your $1 into $2. Now, some of you realize that's mind-boggling that it would take you that long, because I have one question for you. How many life 72 do the average person have in one lifetime? How many 72 years do we get in one lifetime? And I'm sure you're saying, Tanya, probably one, if that, right? Because not everybody gets to live to 72. My son didn't get to live to age 72. He actually passed away at age 27. He had 2 children and he didn't even get to see one of them walk. So I want you to know there's no shortcuts in life. They're just lives that are cut short, which is another one of my metaphors. So the reason that I want to challenge you to start living your dream life, the reason that I want to challenge you to start doing the things that you love and the things that you want, because I want you to be able to have the very lifestyle that you are designing. Wherever you are, you're there because you designed it, whether you like it or whether you love it. So if you don't necessarily totally like everything, let's redesign. Let's redesign the very life. Let's redesign the very lifestyle. Let's redesign living your dream house, living in your dream car, taking your dream trips. Where would you like to go? What would you like to visit? What experiences would you like to experience? And the only way we can do that is by mastering your craft and mastering your money. Don't get stuck with just mastering your craft. Number 2, it's lacking discipline. Many people lack discipline when it comes to mastering their craft and mastering their money. We get good at getting up in the morning. We get good at going to work, but we don't get good at what we spend our money on. Maybe you stop at a gas station. Maybe you get a cup of coffee in the morning and a pastry or a breakfast sandwich, but you don't log that expense. And if you do that with the cost of food increasing, you may be already spending anywhere between $25 to $50 a day just in food. But if you were saving $50 a week for the 40 years that the average person is working, you will have over $950,000 saved. But what I'm noticing is that so many of us don't save. And when we do save, we're saving in the wrong places, we don't have the money that we need to retire, which is why people say, I'm doing my purpose. I'm going to work until I pass. I don't see myself retiring. We don't see ourselves retiring because we haven't saved enough, because we didn't have the right discipline or hold the discipline long enough to make the income that we needed to make, and then putting our money in places that it can monetize so that we can retire at a decent age. I don't know anybody that could be in their 30s and have enough money to retire will keep on working. At the same focus, I don't know anybody that's in their 80s and are working because they want to work. They're working because they have to work. Why? Because the average person don't save enough money. And that's because we get stuck in entry-level things, entry-level positions, entry-level entrepreneurship, instead of transition to business ownership. And number 3, the emotions. What emotions is tied to your money decisions? Where did you adapt them from? Do you even know how to identify them? Do you have money triggers? And do you even understand what money triggers are and what triggers you? I can tell you one of my major things is when I don't get along well with my family, if we are in odds, my husband, my mother, my children, my grandchildren, then I would go and shop. That was one of my money triggers. And I didn't realize it for many, many years. And so you may not be able to change the trigger. You may not even want to change the trigger, but making sure that you identify the trigger and then how to counteract that trigger, because it's not going to always serve you in the right times. It's just like saving money. And when you save money, you ever have something major go wrong with an appliance or a vehicle, and it was right when you saved money. But then it takes you what? It takes you a long time to start building that saving fund up again. And so this is why we teach you to make sure that you have a certain amount of money set aside for those triggers. We're going to help you identify those triggers. And then through identifying the triggers, we're going to have a counterproductive action to that. Many times we make the transition, like prime example, if you got into some type of debt, how many of you know someone that's filed bankruptcy, whether it's you or whether it's somebody that you know? But then you see that years are going forward, they're filing bankruptcy again, or they're in debt again, right? And it's not because they didn't know what to do. Sometimes it's just the discipline and the accountability of not having the right things in place to make sure that it's going to work for you. And so those are some of the things that we do to help you in that area. Those are some of the things that we do to help you implement the things, the tools, the resources, and having the guidance, the strategies to make sure that you stay on the right path, so that if you did file bankruptcy, you don't have to turn around and have to pay for bankruptcy again and again and again. Why do you think businesses change the names over and over and over and over? It's because of the lack of money management. It's the lack of discipline. It's the lack of having someone manage the finances appropriately. And so that's what we're talking about today. We're showing you how to master your craft as well as master your money. Because if you know how to do a good thing, you should be getting paid for the very good thing that you're doing. But when you get paid, is it going on one hand and out the other hand? We want to make sure that it's going in one hand, that we're making it, we're managing it, and we're monetizing it, so then we can transition it multiple ways on this hand. So that it's not just going to this hand and going right out, flying out, but yet we're taking it and we have different streams of not just income, but different streams of savings, investings. And so those are the major things that we talk about in All New Beginning. And we understand that people are in these predicaments for all types of reasons. Maybe you just got out of college, or maybe you're transitioning into college. Maybe you're just getting out of divorce, or maybe you're just getting married. Maybe you are just moving out on your own. Maybe you just became an adult, or maybe you just transitioned from one career to another career, or maybe you moved. Maybe you move from one state to the next state and you know no one in that state. No matter what the circumstance is, we want to help you understand you get to hit the reset button. You get to start over. You get to start right now. And sometimes it's not about starting over. It's just starting from where you are, because you get started, but do you finish? Do you complete the very things that you want to complete? Do you move forward from the very things that you're starting? Do you have a sense of completing or even a sense of urgency? Is your family okay? How do you leave a legacy? One of the major reasons that I want to leave a legacy is because I saw what happened to my son's children, him not being old enough to understand putting certain things in place. Because retirement is not an age. Retirement is a dollar amount. When you have the right amount of money, you can retire. But who's helping you put the right amount of money aside and the right mechanisms so that your money can multiply? So I'm saying that to say, even at 27, had my son had certain things in place, his children would be fine today. And they're okay, but they could be living the greater life where they would not have to work. Now, we're working on some things that they may not have to work, right? But it would have elevated and it would have condensed some time frame had I had some things in place and he had some things in place. But when I have some things in place and he doesn't have things in place, we got to bring the things he didn't have in place up. So now we can elevate those children. So I read in a great book that we should leave an inheritance for our children's children's children. So which way are you leaving inheritance? Do you have active income or is all of your income passive income? And I can challenge you to say that all of your income is probably active income. And many people are transitioning and they're learning how to put things in place that they can have passive income. And you may be asking, well, Tanya, what is the difference? So I love to break these things down because I don't want to use language that people don't totally understand. These are things that we hear. These are things that we see on the internet. And then we think that if I'm doing Airbnb, if I'm doing Trello, if I'm doing any of those things, that that's passive income. Let me pause right there for a second. If you are the person that have to take the car to the airport or to the client for them to get the car when you're doing Turo, guess what? That's not passive income. You physically had to do something to get paid.
Great wisdom. Thank you so much for sharing. I love all the ways that you break it down for folks too, to put it in everyday language. And I'm sure the folks out there enjoy it as well. So talk a little bit about how folks can reach you if they want to get more information, more insight, or to work with you directly.
Sydney, people can reach me on All New Beginning website or on Tanya T. Wise, because I know most people know me by Tanya T. Wise. If you go to TanyaTWise.com, you can reach me, or you can text PLAN to 202-519-9996. Again, that's 202-519-9996.
Okay. Well, I suggest to everyone out there to reach out to you, get more details on all the things. I mean, we only have 45 minutes to an hour on these talks, so we can only share so much, and we try to cram it in. But you know, they should know that you have tons more that you can offer them and enlighten them, etc. So I really suggest people reach out to you and take advantage.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Sydney.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for caring. And as we say, genius is common. I'll see you on the other side.
I'll see you on the other side.
Okay. Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college or for K through 12 entrepreneurs. This expo is a fundraiser for students. So you can go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Again, www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund. Or you can use Cash App that should be on the screen below and send to the account $BBX USA. Again, $BBX USA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. Students, you can register online at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. So again, I want to remind everyone, please donate to the scholarship fund. We want to thank our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for the month of June 2023. Those sponsors include NC100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Riche Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, BHS and Associates, Margie McLean Foundation, Inc., Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Milani Shani Global, the Executive Woman Success Institute, the Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, Artistic App Design, and Black Business Expo USA. Thank you for joining us on the program today. Remember, genius is common, and I'll see you on the other side.
Hi, my name is Holly Bird Miller, and I am the brand and beauty ambassador for the Genius is Common movement. I have 27 years in sales, marketing, business development, branding, and brand strategy. So my genius is common. What got me into the love of branding and beauty is I love to allow our professional clients to look like the best version of themselves, to elevate their executive presence. So I've surrounded myself with a global team of videographers, photographers, hairstylists, makeup artists, wardrobe stylists, social media managers, and brand strategists to make sure that we are your one-stop branding agency. So I am so proud to be the brand and beauty ambassador for the Genius is Common movement. My genius is common.
Hey, it's your girl Colette V. Smith. The V is for victory. My mama would tell you the V is for Veronica, but it's Colette V. Smith, the NFL's first African-American woman to coach in the history of the National Football League by way of being the first female in 2017 to coach in New York Jets franchise history. Today, I'm the founder of Believe in You Incorporated. Believe in You Incorporated. I got here because I didn't limit myself. I started thinking freely, living life freely. Don't limit yourself. Unleash your power, the power that God created you to be and to have. I got here because I didn't just follow a path. I created my own. You can do the same thing. You know why I know this? Because genius is common.
Design is human. It's about people. It's about life. We've designed everything around us since the beginning of time. The things that we see, the things that we hear, experience, and feel. And in this evolving digital frontier that we are calling the metaverse, there are opportunities to do things that we never thought were even possible. But with innovation comes responsibility, and there will be many challenges that we must face and overcome together. I've often wondered, how do we create balance between humanity, technology, and the environment in a world that is already constructed? It's as though we are designing against the grain. This is something that many of us are trying to figure out at this technological tipping point.
Dr. Eric Kelly III, and a host of phenomenal speakers from all around the globe for this 7-day virtual event that you don't want to miss.
The mission of the Black Business Expo is to raise scholarship money from kids all the way from high school all the way from college. The Black Business Olympics is one of the largest Black business showcases in the world. It is an opportunity for businesses and companies to showcase their businesses globally. We are going to be giving away laptops up to $5,000 away to students. Again, I'm Olivia Appleberry, the founder of 2 Cents Finance and one of the speakers for the expo. I am so excited to see you there. For more info, go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090 and hope to see you there.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business. I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep, I am Black business. I am Black business. Are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good afternoon, or good morning, I should say, to all of you entrepreneurs, business owners out there. If you are calling in, checking in from across the globe, not quite sure the time frame, so I want to make sure we're reaching everyone. If you would give me 2 seconds, I'm having a technical difficulty. I want to regroup and then get to our program.
Prepare for what's coming and dominate in economic winter. Stand strong and thrive by showcasing your great products and services globally through the Black Business Network and Black Business Olympics. The Black Business Network has showcased over 2,000 companies with over $7 billion in sales each year. Over 10 million attendees have viewed the rebroadcast each month. Through the Black Business Olympics, unique styles of business training and mentoring are turning students into business owners and entrepreneurial warriors who will dominate in any economy. Gain the ultimate advantage of the Black Business Olympics, 7 days of unbelievable topics and speakers speaking around the globe. Donate your time and experience to provide expertise and scholarships to students worldwide and change the world. Now, more than ever, new insights, tools, strategies, and capabilities are needed. This is your chance for a major presentation to the world. Fill out the form and join the more than 2,000 speakers who have presented to over 200 countries. Join the Black Business Network streaming live into the Metaverse, STEM City, Black Multiverse Enterprises, Hulu, Amazon, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Apple, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pod TV, IBM TV, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Sign up today. Spaces are limited, and we will see you there.
I'd like you to imagine with me, if you will, opening an app where you can collaborate with like-minded individuals from around the world, get inspiration and in-app tools to launch and grow your business, as well as share your knowledge and earn compensation, all in one app. Well, the name of that app is Truso, short for Truly Social. Hi, I'm Matthew Newman, the founder and CEO of Truso. A new concept in social media, Truso is designed from the ground up to be a platform that's both social and empowering for all its users. How exactly do we do that? I'm glad you asked. First, Truso brings the world together via video. Psychologists assert that video provides a significantly more effective connection than audio only. When you enter a community on Truso, you're face to face. Second, on Truso, you don't have to have 1 million followers to monetize. Our business model allows all hosts and moderators to monetize, no matter the size of your following, by 1, producing fee-based content, and 2, inviting others to join the platform as subscribers. Even more, Truso has an in-app resource library with over 100 free resources, forms, and documents to help you build your brand and grow your business. Third, Truso is inclusive. The deaf and hard of hearing communities make up 360 million people worldwide. Unlike audio-only apps, Truso embraces this community, providing a networking platform that allows them to participate via video and closed captioning. We even have a deaf and hard of hearing foundation in the works as well. Fourth, Truso is both social and safe. We refer to Truso as a virtual extension of the beauty shop, barbershop, and brainchild of the community. A place where there's laughter, along with wisdom, growth-oriented conversation, and genuine connections in a safe space. Truso even has proprietary security to ensure we maintain a safe environment for everyone. Where are we at now? Truso is live, y'all. We've launched in beta and we're acquiring users daily. We have an incredible development and marketing team, plus amazing celebrity influencers at the table, helping us spread the word around the globe, beginning within the African diaspora and beyond by creating a safe space for growth, connection, and collaboration. We're truly excited about Truso. We've created something special for which there is a global market. And we invite you to embark on this journey with us as a shareholder. The future for Truso is truly bright. Join us and let's go there together. together.
I am a child of the Most High God. He has gifted me in ways that I could not even imagine and didn't know.
There was a time when I didn't know who I was. I listened to other people tell me who I should be, what I should do. I listened to people telling me that I should be a boutique owner, that I should be a construction manager, that I should be a laborer. Have you ever felt like you should do something else, be something else, go somewhere else, be wherever you wanted to be, and you felt like you were in a box? Anybody in the room? And you couldn't get out? Anybody in the room? And you kept trying to go and you couldn't get out? Anybody in the room? But let me tell you, you need to rock the box. Rock the box.
I am Black business. From the moment I wake until the time I sleep. Yes, I am Black business. I am Black business. Tell me, are you Black business? I am Black business. Do you support Black businesses? Listen, I support Black business because I am Black business. Black Business Expo, one of the largest business showcases in the history of Black business in the world. The world! Sign up today at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com or call 919-308-9090. I am Black business.
Good morning, business owners, entrepreneurs, thought leaders, and corporations. Welcome to the Black Business Network. My name is Sidney Wormsby. I'm the founder and CEO for Strategic Solutions, a business growth and improvement firm. I will be your moderator and speaker for this session of the Black Business Network. And the Black Business Network is a 24-hour business network showcasing Black businesses, business owners, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders worldwide. We have speakers from North Carolina, London, Singapore, Africa, Japan, and cities all over the United States. The Black Business Network is a global community sharing its business knowledge to empower, inspire, and educate businesses about business. This morning, I'm going to be talking with you about growth. And some simple strategies that will help us grow our businesses. So as I said, in the introduction, I am the founder and CEO for Strategic Solutions, Huertas Decus. Huertas Decus stands for, is Latin for excellence and distinction. And what we do as an organization is provide solutions with results to small and mid-sized businesses that lead to doubling of their revenues, doubling of their profits, and usually in 12 months or less. I use the word guide in my title, so business growth and improvement guide, because I really focus on being more hands-on than a typical consultant or coach would be, and wanting to make sure that I'm assisting my clients in the implementation of the solutions that I identify and recommend for them. So we are going to be present, with our clients, with them on their growth journey, guiding them all along the way down that right path, to get to their desired goals and destination. So that's a little bit about what we do as an organization. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about growing your business and helping you understand what the secret sauce to achieving growth is. And so here's what I'm going to cover. First, we'll talk a little bit about what growth is and why it's important to a business. May seem evident and obvious, to many folks, but we'll just use some specifics to define it so that we're all working from the same definition and the same playbook. We're going to talk about the 5 drivers or categories of growth. And yes, I want to be clear and specific. There are only 5 categories of activities that drive growth for all businesses. And then last but not least, I'm going to provide a few specific strategies and tactics that you can use to generate explosive growth in your business. Understand, only have about 35, 40 minutes in the talk and presentation. So I cannot cover everything, and I won't be able to cover even the things that I do cover in great detail and specificity, but I'll try and give enough specifics that you can take, 1 or 2 of the ideas and immediately go back out and implement it within your business. So with that, let's kind of get started and go down this journey of growth. So you're probably thinking first, what qualifies this guy to be in front of me? One of the things that I pride myself on is the depth and diversity of all of my experiences. In terms of the diversity of experiences, I've worked for several Fortune 100 corporations, including PepsiCo, International Paper, Eastman Kodak, Citigroup, JP Morgan Chase, just to name a few. I've been an entrepreneur, both in my current role as a business coach and consultant, but also as the owner and president of a 15-location restaurant group in business that I bought as a turnaround and transformed. But then also as diverse in the sense of I've been a professor, an adjunct professor, and therefore on the academic side taught every course within the College of Business for a City of University of New York system institution. And then, last but not least, I'm a writer, author, etc. So I know business from every function, from every aspect. And that's what I'm going to bring to the conversation today, that depth and diversity in terms of, the experiences that I've had. But, also in terms of the results that I've been able to deliver using the concepts that we're going to talk about today. So whether it was with some of those Fortune 50 companies, when I was with PepsiCo, I grew one of the restaurant markets that I was responsible for from 10 units to over 46 units in just over 3 years. With Eastman Kodak Company, I reversed a declining sales trend for a product that I was responsible for in less than 6 months. And within Citigroup, I grew the sales and profits for a consumer banking business unit that I was responsible for at a rate of 2 times what the rest of the group or the organization was growing at. So I say all that not to toot my own horn, but really more to talk about the things that I'm going to talk to you about today, and that I work with my clients on. I've actually used in real life situations to get results and to drive sales and profit improvement at very large levels. So that's the background. That's the experience. The net of all that is I know business. I know business from all perspectives, from each function and aspect of business and how it impacts the other functions and areas of business. And I'm going to try and pass that on to you in the conversations today. Why is growing business important? Why is growing your business specifically important? When I teach my classes in college and university, I often start a conversation at the beginning of the term around what's the objective of business. And when I ask that question to students, and when I ask that actually to business owners that I do workshops for as well, most of the time, the answer goes something like this. And you're probably thinking it in your own mind right now. The objective of business is to make money, or something like that, to make a profit, to, drive revenues, to make more money or more profit, to sell stuff, to feed my family, all of those things around kind of the profit, motive. But that's wrong. That's not the objective of business. And I know when I say that, my students will always question my clients will always look at me like I'm crazy, and you're probably thinking the same thing. Well, wait a second. If it's not the objective of business to make money, what is the objective of business? And it's this, and it's simple. It's to meet the needs of customers. That's it. That's the objective. You are in business. We are all in business to meet a need of a customer. And we'll talk a little bit more about what the need is and how we define that. But the objective of the business is to solve that problem that the customer or client has. Now, it's not that money and profit isn't important, but they are measures of how well we're meeting our objectives. So revenue, as an example, is a measure of how well the business is meeting the need of our clients. Profit is a measure of how long the business will be able to meet that need and for how many customers that business will be able to survive and serve. So it's not the objective in and of itself for revenue and profit, but it is a measure of how well we are doing that objective and meeting that need. So our customers or target market typically have what we call pain points. And a pain point is one of two things. It's either some problem they have that they don't want, or some benefit that they want that they don't have. So I'll repeat that. All of our customers, clients, target market, prospects, etc., have one of two, sometimes both, one of two pain points: a problem that they have and they don't want it, or a benefit that they want that they don't have. And so growth is important because it is proof that we are getting better and better at understanding and resolving the problems, the pain points facing our customers. Therefore, our revenue grows because we're getting better at solving their problems or providing their desired benefits. It's as simple as that. That's why it's critical. That's why we focus on it. As our profits grow, we have the ability to serve more customers and the ability to serve those customers for a longer period of time so we can have bigger impact, do more good. So growth and profits allows us to do the thing that we are passionate about, that it has inspired us to start or buy our business anyway, and to do it for more people and for a longer period of time. So profit isn't the objective. Revenue isn't the objective. It is the measure that we use to say how well are we meeting the objective of solving those problems and meeting the needs and desired expectations of our clients and prospects. So now that we understand why it's important for the business, how do we achieve it? And most small businesses grow at what we call the rate of GDP, or gross domestic product. And it's a metric that governments use to really talk about their national economy and how it's performing and what the health of it is. So most businesses grow or decline at the same rate as the national economy grows or declines. And that's why most small businesses and most small business owners worry so much about the national economy and inflation and those kind of national metrics of that sort. And I guess I just ask you out there, is that what you want for your business? Is what you want for your business, for your life, to always be worried about something that you really have no control over? You don't have control over national economic policy. And so we don't want to be living our life. We don't want to be running our businesses worried about what the national economic policy is to determine whether we're going to be successful or not. And so if you said no to that question, that that's not what you want for your business, that that's not what you want for your life, then you're going to be interested in knowing kind of the how. How do we use the concepts that I'm going to discuss, later on in this conversation to grow your business? And the concepts I'm going to talk about really are somewhat scientific based, the Pareto rule, experimental design, and continuous improvement. And we're going to apply those to business activities and business strategies. So my background, undergraduate degree, is in engineering. So I love the tech stuff. These concepts come out of scientific metrics, scientific processes, and the like. The Pareto rule, as an example, was established back in the 1800s by an Italian economist who observed that 80% of all the tax revenue that he was responsible for collecting came from 20% of the population. And so he wondered if that was normal or typical or usual. And so he started looking at other areas of kind of natural outcomes, natural performance, and natural occurrences. And what he identified was that was a pretty hard, fast rule that typically 80% of outcomes were determined by 20% of a independent variable. And so it was, his name was Pareto. And so the Pareto rule was born or created. We typically call it the 80-20 rule, that 80% of an effect or an outcome comes from 20% of the effort. I call it the trivial many versus the vital few. That we want to be working on the vital few things, those 20% things that drive the greatest amount of impact. We don't want to be spending our time on the trivial many, all of those things that seem important, seem critical, that really have no impact on the outcomes that we're looking at, that we're seeking, that we are desiring. And so this applies to our business. This applies to many things that we do in life, that we spend in our business. We spend about 20% of our time on things that result in 80% of our revenue and profits and our revenue and profit growth. But that means the alternate is true, that we spend about 80% of our time on things that result in only 20% of our revenue and profits. So, we're spending, 80% of our time, the trivial many, on things that don't provide, us with the critical things that are important for our business long term. So the question is, why do we do it? And how do we stop it? So why do we do it? I call it the firefighting rat killing, syndrome. We spend our time fighting fires and killing rats. Sometimes because it makes us feel important. Sometimes it makes us feel like we're accomplishing something, getting stuff done. We can check it off on our box. Sometimes we are doing it because it gives the appearance of being critical and important. And so it appears that it's important. And so we want to spend time on it thinking that we're doing something, we're moving the ball forward. And there are other times where we confuse things that are important with things that are critical. And an example to that is this. If you're in the investments business, you are a stockbroker, a money manager, a hedge fund manager. Compliance is a very, very important thing. You can be out of business if you're not following compliance and regulatory requirements, et cetera. But don't get it twisted. Compliance has nothing to do with growing revenues or growing your profits. That's about, again, how well you're meeting the needs of your customers, and how well you're managing the dollars or the revenues that are coming in at the top line. So it's not that it's not important, that compliance isn't important. It just has nothing to do with growth. And we want to make sure that those things that are important are getting done, but they're getting done by folks and not by the same folks who we want being responsible for driving the growth of the business. And as a CEO, as a founder, as a business owner, as a president, chief cook and bottle washer, you need to make sure you're spending your time on the 20% of the things that will drive and grow the business. And you want to be spending 80+% of your time on those 20% of those things. So what are the efforts that cause the 80% of our revenue and profit growth, and therefore the 80% of our revenues and profits? We use a concept called experimental design to determine that. And it's a process, in scientific research and experimentation that allows us to identify the independent variables or efforts that have the most impact on a dependent variable or the effect, the outcome. And by using that process, we can then identify here's what is most critical and important or vital for a specific system or process, and here's how important that specific thing is to the overall process. And then we can then prioritize those. So from a business perspective, we apply that concept and we come down to these 5 things. And these are the 5 things that drive growth in any and every business out there. I don't care how small or how large. I don't care how new or how old. I don't care what industry or segment it is. That every business will only grow based on the actions, activities, strategies, tactics taken in these 5 categories. They are more leads, a higher conversion of those leads to actual sales and customers, more transactions by those customers, meaning that they're buying more of our stuff, more of our products and services, higher prices that we're able to charge, and we'll talk about how we do that. It's not as simple as just raising or jacking up a price, and more profits that we generate by actually lowering cost and expenses. So those are the 5 areas: more leads, more conversions, more transactions, higher prices, more profits through lower cost. So let's talk a little bit about some examples of that. And the 2 most important ones that I'm going to talk about really is more leads and more conversions. If I can get some time and have some time, we'll get to a few of the others as well. But leads are vital and critical because they're the lifeblood of a business. You cannot have a sale if you don't first have a lead. If there's not a prospect, you can't convert that prospect to a customer. You can't take them from stranger to paying customer if you don't first, bring them into the fold and get some introduction, et cetera. So, we're going to talk about, how do we generate more leads and how do we increase the number of leads and how do we spend our time to make sure that we're generating more prospects and leads. And in this category, we talk about, good marketing, and most of what we know about marketing is wrong. What we're told about it is wrong. But the key to more leads is having better marketing. And good marketing is fundamentally about these 3 things: targeting the right market with the right message and using the most effective or the right media. So I'll say that again. Good marketing is about these 3 things: the right market, the right message, using the right media. And so, what do we do, in each of those areas? Right message really is about having something good to say. And when I say having something good to say, it's what can you say about your business that you do well that no one else can say. Not that most people can say, but that no one else can say. And most people say, well, there's not that much uniqueness in the world. And, I do the same thing as everyone else. Well, think about it this way. If you went into a party and you were trying to get people to pay attention to you, you wouldn't walk in the door, raise your hands and say, hey, everybody, look at me. I'm just like everyone else here. Because if you did, they would then quickly turn around and go, then I don't need to pay any attention to you. But often our marketing does exactly that. We say things in our marketing that everyone else can say and does say. We call those platitudes. We say things like, been in business for over, put in the number of years, 10 years, 20 years, 35 years. And as I say to, people, especially when my kids were growing up, whatever adjective you use, there will always be someone more than that adjective than you and less than that adjective with you. So if you say that you are rich, there's always someone richer and someone always less rich. If you say that you're smart, there's always someone smarter and there's always someone less smart. So if you're banking on the fact of how much experience you have as a reason why someone will buy from you, remember there's always someone that has more experience than you. So if that's the measure, all the business goes to them. And that's not what we want. So it's not about how long we've been in business. It's not about saying things like we have the best trained staff. Our people really care about our customers. Well, everyone can say that. Everyone does say that. And they say that whether it's true or not, because they think that's what customers want to hear. But if we keep saying things that everyone else can say, then we're leaving the potential customer, the prospect, the potential lead left with making a decision on one thing and one thing only: price. And so then we get into this price competition of how low can we go? How little can we charge? They charge more, so we'll charge less. as a way to try and compete. And that's not a position we want to be in. So having something good to say says we're going to look for what is unique about me, about us, about me as the business owner, about our business that no one else can say, and that is relevant to your target market's problem or pain point. So remember what I said, every potential client, customer, etc., has one of two things that's going through their head: a problem that they have that they don't want, or a benefit that they want that they don't have. And what you want to be able to understand is what makes you unique, what makes you different than everyone else in ways that can help them solve that problem. When we do that, when we understand that, we have what I call a market dominating position, and we can create what I call a market dominating position statement. Other folks call it, other things, a unique selling point, a market differentiator, a product or service differentiator. It's, again, different ways of saying the same thing. How are you unique and different than the rest of the folks in the market in a way that's going to benefit the client, the customer, the prospect? And again, it's not the platitude. So once we have something good to say, we want to make sure that we're saying it well. That we're using what I call a conversion equation. And a conversion equation is basically a formula that you use for marketing that has 4 stages to it. The first stage is the interrupt phase or stage. Second is to engage. Third, to educate. Fourth, to offer, make a compelling offer. So in interrupt, what are we talking about? In our communication, our marketing communication, we first have to interrupt the conversation that the prospect, the lead, the stranger, our target market is having with themselves about their pain points. They're constantly having that conversation in their head about the problem that they have that they don't want, or the benefit that they want that they don't have. And we need to interrupt that conversation. We need to break through the noise of the chatter that they're having inside their head with themselves. And so we need some headline that's going to break through and grab their attention and make them say, wait, what? What was it you just said? And then want to hear the rest of the story. The second phase or stage of that conversion equation is the engagement. And that's where we're going to make a promise of the desired outcome that we know that they want. The promise that we are going to make is going to solve the problem that they have that they don't want, or provide the benefit that they want that they don't have. And if we're not making that promise, then they have no more reason, to stay engaged with us. They will break that off. We got our attention, or we got their attention, but now we're just talking about the same old that everybody else is talking about, or that we soft shoe it because we don't want to sound like we're being bold or braggadocious, etc. And I say just the opposite. We want to make a bold claim. We want to make a strong guarantee. We want to stake our flag in the ground and take a stand on what we're going to deliver for them. And then we will get our client's attention. And that doesn't mean we're making a promise that we know we can't deliver. We are making promises that we know we will deliver. Because we're looking at it from, again, what is unique about us, and that we're able to do that others can't do relative to the problem that they have. And we've staked out that claim of that ground, and we're going to show them and communicate to them how we're going to deliver on the promise that we're making to solve the problem that they have or the benefit that they want. And then last but not least, we're going to educate them. Not last, but next, we're going to educate them. And that's where we're going to communicate that market dominating position statement that I talked about before, and what our values are about, the organization and the relationship that we have with them, and how we're going to engage with them going forward. And last but not least, we're going to then make an offer. And I call these my Godfather offers. You need to create a Godfather offer that is so compelling, an offer that they can't refuse. And in fact, they look at it and they say, I'd be an idiot to refuse this. I'd be stupid and silly not to take this up. It provides me everything that I want, everything that I need at a value that is compelling for me. And so saying it well is, using that conversion equation as a way to lay out our marketing message. And then, once we have something good to say and we identified how to say it well, we're just going to say it often. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Or as the shampoo says, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So we're going to keep that message going forward so that it gets ingrained into their minds as we're the go-to for this problem or this benefit that they want or this problem that they're trying to get rid of. So good marketing is about, again, right market, right message, right medium. Right message is about something good to say, saying it well, and then saying it often. So typical issues related to marketing is that there often is an integration in this process. So although the things that I talked about, you will always, as a business owner, you will get coaches, consultants, et cetera, who will be talking to you about specific aspects of it. So for example, you might get someone involved in digital marketing who will talk with you about the media. Hell, you should be on Instagram, you should be on Facebook, you should be on this platform or that platform. We're experts at creating a digital marketing campaign for you. That's all fine and good. But if you don't have the right message and you're not targeting the right market, being in the right place is not going to have any positive impact for you. You might get advertising or PR firms that might work on the message. And then, having something good to say relative to the problem that, you're going to solve for them, et cetera, et cetera. But if you're targeting the wrong market, meaning it's a good message, but you're trying to sell it to the wrong folks, and you're using the wrong platform, the wrong medium for that, they don't reside in that area, they're not hanging out in that space, then again, your great message is going to fall on deaf ears. So the importance about marketing also is about making sure there's an integration of all of these things, of the, right message, right market, right medium, et cetera, so that you're going to have, importance. That's critical. And without that, you're going to get less than great results. Second area of growth improvement opportunity is in conversion. So conversion is when we take a stranger to actually being a client. We spend all that time, energy, effort in trying to communicate to the prospect, the target market, but then we actually have to get them to say yes, to have that stranger hand us over money and become, a client and start a relationship with us. And so how do we get a prospect to say yes and to hand us cash? There's lots of, strategies around that. We'll talk about just two here that are, pretty basic and simple. But we're going to talk about downselling and drip campaigns. So when we are looking at converting someone from a client or from a prospect to a client or target market, to a customer, we always do our marketing towards the now buyers. People are going to be buying their product or service today. And the reality is most people are not now buyers. Most people are future buyers. And in fact, only about 1% of the entire population is a now buyer on whatever product or service that you're dealing with. So, and I don't care what you're talking about. All of us will eat today, but not all of us will buy food from a store or a restaurant today. And so if you're selling food in a store or a restaurant today, I'm not going to buy. Your commercial or advertising can say a million things. I won't listen to it. I won't hear it. My filter will just block it out because it's not relevant to a problem that I have or a benefit that I want. When it is, my filter will let that come through. And so it's important for us when we're talking about conversion that we are finding ways to get people to say yes who are now buyers and getting people to say yes who are future buyers. Now buyers, it's about our initial offer, something that is a compelling offer that makes them want to purchase, that deals with the problem that they have or the benefit that they want, that is at a compelling value, that it says it solves my problem and at a price point that it's like, oh my gosh, I got to have that. I got to use that. Downsell, however, is when we use a strategy when our initial offer is declined or rejected. And it may be declined or rejected for a variety of reasons. Oh gosh, I don't need all of that. I need something simpler, or I can't afford all of that. Or that doesn't have all of the benefits that I really wanted, and so I'm going to look for something else. So for whatever reason, they reject our initial offer. Downsell is when we reduce either the quantity, the quality, the nature of the offering to something that's less than our initial, to get the client to say yes, because that offer now meets a need that they have. And whether it's I just need to try this out before I go full hog, before I go all the way, before I buy, the full product or service, or whether it's, this is all that I need. I didn't need all those whistles and bells, and so I'm going to try this and become a loyal user of your brand and your products, etc. So downsell becomes a great opportunity for you to convert those folks who even said no to your initial offer. And so I'll ask you, do you have offers that you can then present to a prospect when they reject your initial offer? If you say, no, I don't have that, then you need to create some so that you have a way to get a client to say yes. Now, for future buyers, again, aren't looking to buy today. They may be in one of two stages. They may be in far future buyers where they're just in the contemplation stage. I'm thinking about, buying this product or service, and I'm trying to decide whether I should or not. And they could be near future buyers where they really have decided they're getting it, and they're really trying to determine, is there a reason not to? Is there something I missed? Some reason why I shouldn't be doing this? And until they become now buyers, which is, I just need to know who the best person or company is for doing this thing. So for future buyers, either far future or near future buyers, we need to have some kind of offer that gets them to say yes. Now, typically that's about information, research, studies, things that are important to them, and where they're at, their lifestyle, their product needs, etc., where we can provide info and insights that allows them to see us as a credible source for information, and that connects with them as an individual, and allows us to connect with them, to show our values, to show what we're able to deliver, but also start building credibility in their minds. So think about it this way: if I were a day school or daycare, or a preschool, and I was going to be looking for clients, everybody doesn't have a kid right now or isn't looking for that. Maybe you got a 1-year-old, but they're not ready for preschool. Maybe you just got married. Maybe your kids are grown, and you're not planning on adopting any or having any more. So you may not be a now buyer for that, but you may be interested in info, a research study that shows what's important about choosing a daycare or a preschool. And maybe you don't need it for right now, but you're going to use it for a couple years from now when your 1-year-old becomes 3. Or maybe you're going to use it for your neighbor when your kids are grown, but your neighbor down the street is thinking about this. So we use our marketing, to also speak to future buyers through things like a drip campaign. A drip campaign is using your email marketing, system or tools to automate the process of communicating to future buyers about topics that are important and of value to them. And when we're doing that, we're not only providing something that is important to them, they start then seeing us as a source of valuable information, but they also start seeing us as a credible source. Someone that is a trusted source for information and ideas that when they get ready to buy, they will look to us first. And so it becomes an important and useful tool in the conversion process. There's studies and research that says that the average, we need to touch the average prospect 7 to 13 times before they'll actually make a purchase. And those numbers vary, depending on who does this research and study and what report you're reading. But the point is, it takes a lot of time. People aren't buying stuff on the first message that you give to them, because again, most people aren't now buyers. And so, what are you doing to stay in front of those folks? And if you don't have a way that you're staying front of mind with them in ways that are valuable to them, they're not going to consider you, or they're less likely to consider you when they get to that now buyer stage. So that's what's important about each one of these strategies and activities, that it is something that we can do that improves or increases the performance of that phase of the business that drives all growth. So what's important to understand is, I mentioned the 5 areas: the more leads, the more conversions, more transactions from each client, higher prices, and more profits. If we are driving incremental growth, using that concept of continuous improvement that I mentioned earlier on, then we can assess where we're at right now, determine where we want to go and where we want to be, make some strategic plans around what changes we're going to make, implement those, and what we can start seeing is small incremental improvements in each of these areas that have a multiplicative effect on the overall business. It's having 1%, 2%, 3% growth or improvement in each one of those categories or areas that then get multiplied on top of each other, that leads to explosive growth in the business. So when I'm working with my clients, for example, I use that concept of continuous improvement in a profit growth simulator that I have. That simulator looks at strategies within these 5 categories, and then applies and assumes, or just simulates a certain growth rate, a 1%, a 3%, a 5%, a 10% growth or improvement in each one of these categories. What if we got 5% more leads than we did in the prior year? What if we only got 3%? What if we got 10%? What impact would that have on the business? What if we had a 10% improvement in leads, a 5% improvement in conversions, a 2% improvement in transactions, a 4% improvement in pricing, and a 7% improvement in profits? What impact would that have on the business? And one of the things I'm able to show through my simulator is that very small improvements in these areas have that multiplicative effect, and that quickly lead to doubling of our profits. And then it's just about identifying the specific strategies that we're going to use for our business and where we are right now to be able to impact or have that effect on change. So I'm running out of time. It's getting close to the time here. So I'm going to wrap it up. And I'm going to wrap it up by saying this: you can drive growth of your business through the things that I talked about before, and that growth can happen quickly by focusing more of your time on implementing some simple strategies in these 5 categories that I mentioned. And if you're interested in hearing more, learning more, knowing more about exactly how to do that, you can go to my website, www.solutionswithresults.com. Again, that's www.solutionswithresults.com. You can contact me. You'll get all my contact information, my email address, my phone number, etc. You can also submit a question that you might have about your specific business and situation. You can also get some free materials, some free information. You can get a free digital copy of my book, and some free training. I really want folks to understand the things that they can do to make their business grow. And I welcome any of your, comments, questions, calls, contacts, if you want more information or, looking to do more with your business. I want to thank you for listening to me, taking the time. I want to also talk a little bit about, again, the Black Business Network and the things that we're doing in the program here. As I mentioned before, the Black Business Network is a fundraising opportunity. Black Business Expo's mission is to raise funds for high school seniors going to college and for K through 12 entrepreneurs. The expo is a fundraiser for students. So you can go to www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Again, that's www.blackbusinessexpousa.com to donate to the scholarship fund, or you can use the Cash App and use the account $BBX USA. Again, that's $BBX USA. Our goal is to give laptops and up to $5,000 to 10 students. And if you're a student, you can register online also at www.blackbusinessexpousa.com. Every dollar counts. And so we want to remind you to donate to the scholarship fund. We want to thank all of our Black Business Expo USA sponsors for the month of June 2023. Those sponsors include NC 100, Moody Capital Partners, Suede Soul, Lotus Richer Coaching and Training, Carolina, Virginia Minority Supplier Development Council, Step Management, BHS and Associates, Margie McLean Foundation, Inc., Genius is Common, Earth Essentials, Milani Shani Global, Executive Women's Success Institute, The Quality Coaching Company, Superwoman Business Services, Creative Force Studios, Lee Entertainment, The Artistic App Design, and Black Business Expo USA. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. And remember, genius is common. And I'll see you on the other side.
Attention all entrepreneurs and companies. Are you looking for reliable and efficient virtual assistants and back office support to help you manage your business tasks? Look no further than Superwoman Business Services. Our team of virtual assistants provides a full range of administrative support services, including operations management, social media marketing, and much more. We also offer website design services to help you create a professional online presence that reflects your unique brand. In addition to administrative support and website design, we offer business development and structuring services to help you grow your business and achieve your goals. We'll work closely with you to identify areas of improvement and develop a customized plan to help you reach your full potential. At Superwoman Business Services, we understand that running a business can be overwhelming and time-consuming. That's why we're here to help you fly high and achieve success. Our virtual assistants are highly skilled, experienced, and dedicated to providing you with the support you need to thrive. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights. Let us help you become the superhero entrepreneur you are meant to be. Contact Superwoman Business Services today to learn more about our back office support services. Come fly with us and take your business to new heights.